Hey everyone, welcome to Ms. Cooper's art class. Today I have a really quick video for you about roses. And this is a really fast one with kind of minimal editing. It's just showing you how to doodle a rose because a lot of people ask how to draw that. Some people get hung up on what it looks like, but really they're quite simple. You start with some petal kind of shapes in the middle that are really close together. These can look like all sorts of things. I just kind of let the lines wiggle just a little bit, just to get that center of the rose in there. After that, you start to make some of these petal shapes a little bit bigger. And I like to kind of wiggle my hand a little bit while I do it. And they're not perfectly round and circular, they're kind of flat, they stick close to the actual flower. And then, once I have what seems like the right amount and my rose seems big enough, I'm actually done adding petals. And it really can be just as simple as that. And you can add your stem kind of trailing off from there, or you can skip that and just kind of draw some leaves coming out from the edges of your rose. Really, the nice thing about roses is no matter what you do, it will still look like a rose, it will still look correct. One other way you could stylize it is to not quite connect all the petals and have them kind of float and overlap each other in that space. So you could do something like this if you are going for something that just has kind of a looser or more whimsical kind of doodled look. There's two ways you might not want to do this. I'm gonna put no, but it's not like a solid no because these still look good. They just might not be what you want. So one of those ways I see people draw roses is with really pointy petals in the middle, and they draw something that looks kind of like this. That doesn't quite look like a rose. It does look like a succulent or maybe like some other type of flower, and it still looks cool. It just doesn't quite look like a rose. The other thing I see people do sometimes is they make those other petals on the outside really round, and they look really cool. But I wouldn't say it looks exactly like a rose either when you do something like this. But it does look kind of like a rose, and it looks interesting. When it comes to shading your rose, let's say I'm getting ready to add some value to this. I'm going to draw some petals real quick so I have a bit of a rose to start with. I don't want to add so many that looks ridiculous, but I do want a good number of petals. All right, let's say I've got something like this. The shading is always going to come from the inside of the petal. So if I'm going to add just a little stippling here, because I do like to stipple a lot on this channel, I'm going to add that stippling kind of coming from the middles of my petals. Whatever part of the petal is closer to the inside of the flower, that is where I'm going to add my shading. The middle can get a little messy. You might even just kind of entirely shade in one of those middle petals just to really give it that shadowed look of being directly in the middle of the flower. So is this absolutely perfect? Does it look like a photo? No, not quite. But if you are just trying to doodle a rose or just get one on paper real quick, this is really your best bet. And if you draw the petals like this, it will generally look like a rose. Even if you don't color it red or hint at it, it will still look like a rose in any color. Anyway, I told you it was going to be a really quick video. That's all I've got for you in this one. I hope you enjoyed. Take care and happy drawing.